Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where we are going to continue on and finish up the latest fishing vessel that I have in my inventory, the R.S.V. Astako. This is a play on words of the Greek word for lobster, and I think it's quite fitting for a vessel such as this. Now you'll see the paint job has been kind of continued, and what you really have is, in addition to the decals and all that equipment in the rear, I did add some extra features such as a secondary hopper here with kind of a fake sink. So first of all, this allows you to fit in an additional 30 or so lobsters or crabs, so you have a total of 252 for the hopper system. Now the pots are still 128, so in total you can get a hefty 760 lobsters or crabs if you keep them in the pots especially. So the next thing remaining is the interior here, which you could see is quite plain and basic, in fact fully empty, and some of the exterior details as well as that controller that we showed you in the previous video that Sheppy made that can actually get the fishing gantry in position for you. So I'm going to go ahead and install a couple magulls here that can possibly attach to the hopper system. And I have the little control panel here, so it'll be pretty easy or straightforward to make this system work. Now one button will toggle both sides, it doesn't really matter. Now for this part here we have the gantry suction, which will be attached to this, and we have the actual control panel which will be attached to this one here. Now, in addition to that, it of course needs its own radio channel, so let's see if we have a free radio that is not currently being used. See, this one here is being used, so then this one remains clear, and I can go ahead and connect it to this. So we're going to test out this gantry system. As you can see, we're bringing the boat over to the gantry. Now I will want to hold it in position, and now if we go back out here we can turn on this or just start moving it around. First of all, this has to be on, and there you have it. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can go any lower than that. Ooh. Alright, presumably it can. We just have to back up a touch more. So I'm just going to take it up a notch, and then we'll back up a little more here. Like this. And then, if I position hold and hop back here, this should be able to drop all the way down. Oh, and then mag all secured. Perfect. And then if we were to have stuff in here, we'd be able to enable the suction and sell it. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't have anything in here, let's deploy our pots and see if we can't get some lobsters right here along the shore. And here we have it. So we've now collected 120 of these, and we can even bring up the pots and then start this process. Now you could hear the engines on, hovering around 10 RPS, and it's keeping the systems kind of charged. It's fighting or battling. Now, this is locked in place, so let's see if we can't pick up some of these things, and then load up that one hopper, and then try to unload or sell them. So, we got 6 in there. If I turn this on, oh, I have to hold it. I hear a sound, but I don't see that it's working. Huh. Anyway, that is still in progress. Let's see if I can press it from here. Oh, it's true. But it's not picking them up from the hopper, so maybe it has to be a little lower. Oh, it's true. Okay, it's like a toggle to push button. Cool. Let's bring it a little lower then. Lock it and try again. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it has to be like physically in or touching. But anyway, having these maghols helps for positioning it, and then you could release that. You could raise this up and probably go to the other side. But in essence, it's nice to have the system without having to climb up and down to that. So I'm quite happy overall with what we have in this vessel as far as the options and functionality aspect of the build. On a similar note, I just outfitted the R.S.V atoll with the OMA Fisheries Department color scheme. So you can see we got the little logo, we got the turquoise teal paint job. So just another little bit of lore for you guys who enjoy the lore aspect of what I build. I like that system so much also with the hopper vacuum that I decided to add one to the R.S.V atoll. However, I didn't like those massive buttons as much, so I went ahead and kind of made it like a keypad style with the vacuum button here and the maghol securing button here. In the microcontroller, it was actually very easy to edit and update. It just came down to adding a single item, which is an OR item, for the turning on of this vacuum, and then a maghol release that I replaced with the previous vacuum button. So very simple change, but hopefully now it also adds a little bit of functionality for the R.S.V atoll here. So with this system, you got to open up the fish freezer, and then up here you can turn on the maghol, you can lower this, and you can turn on the gantry vacuum. So that kind of gives you a bit of versatility. Of course, with this door, you do have to make sure you're side on rather than backed up like this, but you can then rotate the gantry as you see fit and move it up and everything like that. So this adds a little bit of a play feature as well as some extra support for offloading the atoll with fish. So this will be a nice little addition to the fleet. And that brings us back to the interior of the Astako, where we have currently these 3 doors, which are kind of awkward. We don't need all of them for sure. And this massive bridge, which does look good, except for some of this stuff that I previously didn't really put much thought into, especially because I just wanted to make sure the system was functional. But now that we have a working system there on the outside, we can actually go ahead and fix up the interior, make it look a little more polished. I mean, even if it just comes down to adding some basic details such as this, like a little cup holder or whatnot there. Here is empty, which is interesting. But overall, a very basic thing like this will go a long way. Now, as far as the layout for this room goes, what do you think about something like this? So you walk in, you get your little office area, and here we'll have a working camera setup that can watch the lobsters and crabs. And if you make your way here, you get a little kitchen nook and 2 beds. So this way you can have a place to crash and sleep, as well as sit and make plans. And over here you have your kitchenette, which is bigger than the Alston class vessel. It's a little bit larger, so you can imagine they can take it out and go for a bit longer excursions. That did have me remove that door that was kind of leading to the deck, but I think it makes sense to have this as the main door that goes right into the research area and have kind of the kitchenette slash living space around the corner there. With the completion, more or less, of the interior, I did add a little lobster in there, or crab, and put sort of some specimens and charts. Over here we get the bed set up. But what I do want to do is make the working video now. So we're going to take this kind of area here and attach the camera as well as some spotlights that can be operated from that desk, and it can watch and sort of get a good understanding of what is going on down there. So while the net is down, or the while the system is collecting the crabs and lobsters, this array will be used here for data collection. Now with the working fish view system, you can see that we can enable the spotlights or go infrared, and however you move the camera, the light will also follow. So if you want to zoom in to your lobster pots, you can definitely do that. So this is a nice little system of interaction that this gets. We need to add some lights in here, and otherwise this vessel is pretty close to completion. And finally, the last finishing touches, we got the system up and running here inside the vessel. Now if you turn on the fish view, you also have the fish amount, so that is something that's now new. The interior lights up when you step inside. The beds are colored properly. They look much nicer now. I think I could do with a bit more lighting, to be honest, especially here. And when you go here, those lights turn off, so then you won't kind of intrude on your night vision. Of course, if you want your bridge lights, you have this light here. And that is pretty much it for this vessel. I'm going to release it out for the boosters of my Discord server to use and kind of let me know what their findings are for the next little while, and then eventually it will make its way into the regular workshop for everyone else to use and let me know what they think of it. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more creations, stay tuned for more videos and content, and as always, happy Stormworksing. Until next time, everyone.